Saturday. Welcome back to the 4th of July. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thanks y'all for coming. Who traveled the farthest for the 4th? Where'd you go? Croatia. Anybody go further than Croatia? All right, you win the prize. The prize is a high five this morning. I wasn't planning on that. Woo. So as a, who wants to read this? Anybody want to read this for us? Would you like to read it?
If I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on the solution, I would spend the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. For once I know the proper question, I can solve the problem in less than 5 minutes. If I were out.
Thank you very much. So that was I'll answer for it. I'm sure you can solve a problem in 5 minutes. Maybe it'll take the rest of us 10. But the whole idea was coming up with the right questions. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. I can't remember exactly. But just a quick review on how to ask, instead of great, exceptional questions. One was stop overcomplicating the question. Don't do an intro. Make it like a James Bond movie. Just go straight into the action. 5 words or less, and then shut up and listen. The second piece of advice we heard was to ask real questions, not fake questions. Don't disguise advice as a question. So if you're talking to a client or something, well, have you thought of right? So that's sort of it's not really a question, you're just giving a suggestion of advice. The other thing would to try starting out, if you've got a hard or heavy question that you're asking somebody, for instance, a client, maybe you're suggesting, or that you want to know what their thoughts are on price reduction. Out of curiosity, have you thought about reducing the price at all, right? So if you start a question out of curiosity, it can kind of soften that a little bit. Another way is to stop the noise and create space with silence. So Susan Cain wrote a book called Quiet, which is a really phenomenal book about introversion and introverts. But many people need time to formulate an answer, especially introverts, so don't crack first. It's okay to be uncomfortable with the silence, let the other person crack first, and remember to smile. The other one was become a stronger active listener every day, so stop the bobbleheading, right? Stop planning your next question instead of listening. If you really listen, the next question will be embedded in their answer. He also talks about going caving. The darkness and the unknown can be scary, but your question will be the headlamp that lights the way. And then the last thing, you remember the awe? What does awe stand for? AWE, right. And what else? So we often hear the answer to move on, just resist that. We give an example of Mr. Stoltz's back there of asking a lot of follow-up questions. And what else? And what else? And then you finish it. Is there anything else? So one of the author of this book, one of his favorite questions was, what's the real challenge for you? And so that's more of a coaching type question, but you can take any variation of that and ask it to clients or customers as well. And then asking what else? What are you all grateful for today? Anybody have anything they're happy about or grateful for?
I just made it in.
You just made it in?
Yeah. I got strep throat last week, and then I was out of commission for like 5 days, and then my kids got fevers, and now I'm still stuck at home for the next whatever days, so I can't take them anywhere. So
Congratulations on making it.
I just left the house.
I appreciate it.
I'm happy about that.
That's awesome. Danielle, you made it in too. I saw some pictures. You went on a baby moon. How was that? It was fun. That's good. Anybody else?
I'm glad she told us she's contagious. So that
No, I'm not.
Anybody else have anything they're grateful for? Is Eva here? Eva told me something yesterday. We spent some time last week going through a pretty tricky situation that she had, and it looked like the deal was completely falling through, and she came up to me yesterday morning and said, hey, just a heads up, that solution we came up with, and this is not me, this was just a collaborative thing, that solution we came up with together, it worked. The deal closed on Friday, so good work to Eva for that. So I'm grateful for hearing that. One thing that's, we talk about customer service a lot and how we can be good customers. It reminded me, has anybody ever traveled or rented a car from Hertz? So Hertz has their logo or their tagline, I think is "We Try Harder," or is that Avis? I don't remember. Anyway, Hertz is supposed to be like the nice one. So I rented a car from Hertz. I've never done that before, and I get there. This is in Syracuse, New York, where my mom lives outside of Syracuse, and getting there is hard. And so we get this car, and then we have this car. It's great. Well, it was kind of dirty and filled with sand, and we got it. Whatever. I took it to the car wash and vacuumed it out and all that stuff. Not a big deal. Took the trash out. But then we get back, and we. I took a rental car to the car wash. It was a lot of sand. So it was like $2 in vacuum. You know, I didn't wash the outside. But then we get back and we get to our gate. I'm going through security, and it says it's an hour delayed, and then we get to the gate, and of course, flight canceled. So I literally just run back, and we can't rebook for another 2 days. So I'm supposed to get back Saturday, got back yesterday. And I run back to the rental car counter, and I'm like, "Can I have the car back?" Have you cleaned it yet? Probably not. And they're like, "Well, yeah, I don't think so." I was like, "Okay." So I said, "Well, I need a car. Can I get another car?" And so they said that car was going to be like double what it was. You know, it's going to be like $700 to rent for 2 days. It's crazy. It's a Monday. It's like a Sunday and a Monday. So then I go back to the rental car counter, and I say, "Well, let me take a break. I'm gonna look at the sites, because there's like 7 rental car counters there." I look at them all, and I'm like, "You know what? I'm just gonna stick with this Hertz." So I go, and I'm just like, I just need a car, less than $300 that can fit 5 people in a bunch of bags. And he's like, "Well, here's this," and I'm finding one. I'm like, "What about this one online?" He goes, "Oh, you're gonna have to book that online." I go, "But this is your website." He goes, "Yeah, but I can't get that price. You want me to stand in front of you and book it online?" So literally, that's just how I kept going. So just a good reminder that we can talk about customer service all day long, but you actually have to do it. So that was probably the last time that I used Hertz again. But anyway, it's a good reminder to do what you say. All right, some news. Bobby, what do you got, education-wise?
Well, it's a good month. It's kind of hot. So I hope that's not going to deter. Today we've got Richard Exton. Has anybody known or used or had Richard Exton do an appraisal? Is that good news? Yeah, he's a great appraiser. He's going to be in today at 10:30 for the V-Talk, and he's going to talk about the issues that come up between realtors and appraisers and sellers and buyers and lenders. And you're going to get to ask all those questions of him that you've been burning and desiring. And I hope you can, he's been in the business as long as I can remember, so probably as long as me. So please show up today at 10:30. Tomorrow is Collaborative, which is really coming along. We got chapter 5 in the referral engine, and then at 11 is Pro Bowl for all those that are team leaders. Oh, and then on the 12th, we're going to have Coffee Talk with Scott Evans and David. No. It is? Is it you, David?
It just says Davey.
Oh, it is. It's David Doris. We're doing a coffee talk with the owners. We're going to stump them, or at least find out, what were you thinking? Okay. So that'll be at 10 o'clock on the 12th. And then there's a Boomtown Lunch and Learn. So what are you having for lunch?
I don't know yet.
I mean, that's the most important thing.
We'll find that out.
They show up for good food. There's orientation if you are new to Village next week. We will have orientation on the 18th, and I'll be doing an agency class. And then on the 16th, I have an inspector coming, David Bybee, who you can rip to shreds on talking to him about inspection. So I have handpicked these people. They're strong and tough and able to really get you. And then we do have nominations now open for 2020 Greater Nashville Realtors Board of Directors. Do you have anything to say about that, lady?
Make cookies and treats, take them to the offices. We're going to.
Are you saying that we're going to have to campaign?
Yeah.
Campaign
It's
with
earlier this year too. I think it ends the middle of November instead of the end of November.
How many are interested in being a director on GM?
No cookies for
You
anybody.
see what happened? You scared them to death. You know, it's really, really something. Village has had someone on the GNR board of directors for a long, long time, at least some representation, and it makes a big difference to the company and your news and your status within the industry, don't you think? So, Lee, thank you. Tyler, thank you. Who else is active and either a chairperson or a leader at the board, or any board? Or past. That's where I stand for Pat. Okay, we need to get more involvement. It makes a difference in your business.
So if you're interested in that, we can nominate you. I guess anybody can nominate, or maybe it's just voters. But if you want to be on it, come talk to me about it, and we can nominate you. All right, Hunter, what do we got? There's a lot of stuff happening around town. There's been a lot of news lately.
All right. So you just oftentimes like to highlight a few things just so we're in the know what's going on development-wise. So y'all heard about the downtown Apple Store. So that is going to be the old convention center, corner of 5th and Broadway. And you see kind of Ryman in the background here, this corner. That's pretty cool. It just got approved yesterday through, I think it was NVHA's Design Review Board. So that's happening. That's a picture of the overall development here. It's right across the street from the arena. Got the Ryman, so kind of that corner to be activated with some really cool retail versus used to be just a blank wall of concrete, you know, and everything was inwardly focused on the old convention center. Also, we've got a couple of grocery stores that are coming downtown. So grocery stores often, you know, they come after residents, but then once they're there, more residents will follow. So this is 11th Avenue. It's kind of what comes out of the Gulch. You got 11 North. You can see on this corner, and this is Publix at Capitol View, and so the Publix will be kind of right down in here. This is Charlotte. Downtown is going in that direction. So if you keep going through here, you can kind of back into Germantown. And, so that's where that Publix is under construction. See another image there. And then the Gulch / downtown Whole Foods. So you're coming in, this is pretty exciting too. You used to come into downtown and you get off the interstate there and you have like the Tennessean and a McDonald's, an Exxon, that was pretty much, yeah, a Mazda dealership. Nothing against that, but like a couple of car dealerships. So in where that Mazda dealership was is where the new Whole Foods is going to be, along with an apartment tower for renters by choice, is what they say on their website. But it's basically really high-end rental units. It'll have parking in the garage, and then the Whole Foods here. It's right across the street from that McDonald's, which is there. And there's the Exxon. And so as you're coming into downtown, it's on your left. So that's also under construction and was recently announced. Another photo of the Whole Foods. So pretty cool to have, you know, it used to be like, what do we need downtown to have more residential, more kind of residents, not just tourists downtown. We need grocery stores. So a couple of more good options. How's the market? Interest rates. We've got rates below 4% on a 30-year fix, so 3.875. 15-year at 3.375. So rates have come down a good bit. If you look at them over the last 4 weeks, so just the 4-week average through July, you can kind of see them kind of the relatively kind of been converging a little bit, but also going down. Zach, you want to talk about trends in the sales?
About rates before we move?
Yeah. Rates.
Projections as far as with rates doing what they're doing, and you know, I hear a lot of speculation about maybe a market correction. I'm probably trying to speak to this, but are there any market indicators or political factors or things that we're seeing of when rates will change?
On the spot. Good morning, everybody.
Because that's always the question, what are rates gonna do, how far, like, I mean, what do you think they're gonna do, so.
So, all of our mortgage sites still basically tell us that rates are going to raise, they're going to raise. I don't like being on camera. So they keep giving us the warning they're going to raise. But every time they try to push the boundary, the market goes bad. So the stuff in China has us offset right now. Also, as we go into an election year, so historically every election year we also maintain rates. So basically, unless something, everything steadies out, so the China deal, the Mexico deal, the trade deals, Trump still causes a lot of uncertainty in the market. So most people think we're going to hover down around 4 for a while.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yep, thank you.
All right. Zach.
All right, so just real quick on that grocery store front. So there's a rule of thumb I heard from a developer once that you have to have about 5,000 residents or people to support households, I guess, people to support a grocery store, like a good sized grocery store. And so I was just looking at the numbers. So anybody know how many residents there are downtown? Well done, Phil. I mean, like on the money. 12,200 is the projection for the end of this year. So Austin, by just some comparisons, Austin has about 15 or 16,000. Charlotte has almost 20,000, and Indianapolis also has about 12,000. So those are people, those are residents, and then the housing units. All right, how many housing units? You know, apartments, condos, yeah, downtown. In 2017, there were 6,400. Now there's about, by the end of this year, there'll be about 8,600.
I think that's more,
Do you have some roommates? 2 bedrooms, spouses? You know, it's not all just single people living downtown. And how many scooters? No, we won't go there. All right, so Nashville, this is just a press release. There are 4,172 home closings. That's up 3.4%. This is from Greater Nashville Realtors. And this is the multi-county region. I'll show you exactly where in a second. Data for the second quarter of 2019. So this is for the month. The second quarter was 11,000, almost 12,000 closings, which is up 5% from the second quarter of 2018. So closings are up as well. Greater Nashville Realtors put this little infographic together. This is on the VLearn site. So if you want to download it, go to VLearn. It's also an email that the Greater Nashville Realtors sent out. Inventory, this is everything, 11,610. Total sales, 4,100. And this is for June of 2019. All right, so if there's 4,100 sales in June, and there are 11,600 sales, or choices, how many months of supply is that? About 3, right? Average days in the market is 32. Residential median price is $319,990. There's 3,600 homes under contract, and the condo median price is $231,689. You've got just year over year, 17, 18, and 19. You've got increasing sales every time in the month of June. So 3,800, 4,000, and 4,100. So things are moving. This is a lot of data, but again, you can download this and share it if you want. Median sales price, again, $319,900. That's a 1.6% increase over 2018. So not a huge uptick when you're looking at the very, very big picture. You've got, and that's just in the month of June. If you look at, that's for residential. Condominium is about 4.5% up. And then months of supply, condominium is 2.2, residential is 2.3. This is 2.3. It felt like it was closer to 3 based on the math, but.
What area?
So this is for Davidson, Cheatham, Dixon, Maury, Robertson, Rutherford, Sumner, Williamson, and Wilson counties. This is a really big picture stat. Total inventory is, again, 2019 is higher than 2018 and 2017 across the board. So those are the areas where it looks at. So any questions on that? Thoughts?
Inventory's up a little bit.
Inventory's up a little bit, closings are up a little bit, just more activity in general. Tools, Boost, quick update. 384 total campaigns. We're gonna hit 1 million views soon in less than 3 months, which is pretty incredible. 38,000 people have clicked on your ads for your listings, and over 3,000 leads have been generated of people who have been interested in your listings. So, what gets boosted? Any property, what gets boosted?
Any property that's priced above $195,000 gets a business week's worth of boost ads for free. That's it.
Making sure you're paying attention. We touched on this last week, so does anybody have any success that y'all been replying? I'm not going to hound you again about sharing the love. But I guess I just did. Was that a question? Was that advice disguised as a question? No. All right, Boomtown update. We're going to have a lunch and learn on Friday. And I went through this a couple weeks ago, but we're going to have a lunch and learn on Friday at 11:15 here. And we'd love to have anybody who's interested in learning more about it. We've rolled it out to the ambassadors, but we're trying to get everybody on it. Quick things to do. Go ahead and log in. Take the training. That's the best way to begin. I would love for you all, if you're going to come to the lunch and learn, to please just try to take some of the webinar training beforehand. It'll set you up to be a lot more up to speed on things.
But
if not, come anyway. It's okay. Come anyway. And then set up the e-alerts. Again, this is like an auto notify on steroids. It works much better than RealTrax. You can save those properties. You can see what they're doing. You can also set up monthly e-alerts for your past clients. It's a little monthly real estate review. It's just automated. It's easy. And it's probably something we offer. So just a quick update. I went through this before, but Sandra Green is my mother-in-law. We just actually closed on a place for her last week. So it said, this is part of what I've got her categorized as. It talks about my last communication with her, how many calls, how many emails if I've called her through the app. Has a little notes section, talks about what, where she is. It shows here that she last logged in 8 minutes ago, which is pretty cool. So it shows exactly what she's doing, what her home address is. It has social media profiles as well. So once you're Facebook, that stuff just pulls up automatically because I put her phone number and her email in. And then talks about what she's looking at. So if you remember, we went through this and said, she told us that she was looking for something under up to in the 400s. So up to $400,000. And so she really preferred something though, based on the 48% of the things that she's searching for are in the 200,000. So she's telling me one thing, but she's really doing another. So I can see into that, and that's good. I tell her, I've been telling people, I can see what you're looking at, and that's helpful to me to help understand what you're looking for. So don't think of it as like this creepy thing that's going to weird people out. It's a good thing. It creates a collaborative environment.
What's she end up buying?
She ended up buying a Lions Head condo. 310. Huh? She paid cash, so sorry, no loan. But little to-do list here, and then these are the e-alerts. So again, very similar to RealTrax. You can set it up on a map search. You can add all the different things that they want, minimum bedrooms, bathrooms, etc. And you can set it up based on how fast you want it. You can have it go instantly, daily, twice a week, weekly, twice a month, or monthly. Again, those monthly, that's a really awesome way to keep your past clients engaged, and just do a search in their neighborhood and just say, hey, I'm going to keep you up to date on what's going on in their neighborhood. It brings it back to the website. You create an account for them. It'll start flagging you if they start doing some activity that Boomtown defines as potential interested buyer or seller activity.
Can I add something about the training? So I learned, learn from my mistake. I tried to do the training on my own time through the YouTube videos they had. They kind of were not great. So I did the training, I did the Tuesday class last week. Infinitely better. Just put it in your calendar and do it. You do have to do it when it's a live webinar. They're super engaged and interactive, and it was amazingly helpful just to get my stuff set up. So it just might help you to do that one today if you can book it, or try to get in there as soon as you can, because it helped me set my whole system up like by miles ahead of what the YouTube videos were. So I wouldn't do that. So don't waste your time. Bye.
Thank you very much. So yes, they are engaging. Their live webinars Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. There's a morning session and an afternoon session. Just take those. Again, I've said it a month, but it works. All right. So you can log in. Go to whatever your email at villagecn.com is. That's your account. And so log in, upload a photo. We've got new photos. We'll talk about that coming soon. And then some quick village tips of the week. NAR Tech Edge. Who went to this? NAR Tech Edge? A handful of y'all did. So I've got a quick recap from there. There was a lot of great information, so I tried to consolidate it, and I've got a lot of stuff here, but I tried to pull out the most important. So communication, automated. Boomtown has a lot of automated tools to automate your communication, so you can use that for that. Send, one of the suggestions is just make sure you're sending something of value, and somebody said, anything I said, send my clients. The questions I ask myself before I send something is, what saves them time and what saves them money? Right, so I might send them vendor recommendations because that's going to save them time, or it might save them money as well. I might send them some sort of an information about a deal, or Miss Cheap has an article every month, or a column all the time about things that you can do for free or on the cheap in Nashville. So share that stuff. Keep emails short and sweet. No scrolling. This is interesting. Somebody said, I want to make sure that every email I send, even if it's a quick newsletter, I don't want them to have to scroll at all or very much, because if they have to scroll a lot, they're usually looking at it on their phone and they get thumb fatigue. They're scrolling. This was interesting from a lead gen standpoint. Peak online search activity, and this is based on a lot of the big websites. Peak online search activity is actually in November, December, and January. Is that surprising to anybody?
Of course, it's cold.
It's cold.
Inside.
They're inside. There's, especially November, December, I figure there's a lot of other stuff going on where people are in the shopping mood. They're online looking at, gifts for friends or whatever, and so they might just start looking at houses as well. But that's where the peak online search activity is. We're going to talk about some tips to capitalize on that. A lot of people said it's a way better investment to spend money on a genuine gift to past clients than it is to spend money on random lead generation. Then there was a lot of stuff, and this was really fascinating. The moment of intent and micro moments. So I'll put a link there. Don't worry about that. I'll put it on the, I'll send it out. I think I did not put that on BeLearn, but I'll send it out. Micro moments. So this was talking about kind of brand, and this, not all of this has to do with real estate, but this is a Google research study. There's a website called thinkwithgoogle.com, and it's kind of interesting. They have a lot of good stuff if you want to get lost for a while and looking at things. But this was in there. Many consumers are not brand committed. 90% of smartphone users are not absolutely certain on the specific brand they want to buy when they begin looking for information online. You get a shot at your competitors' customers. 1 in 3 smartphone users have purchased from a company or brand other than one they intended to because of information provided in the moment they needed it. Right? Your presence can drive brand awareness goals. Studies have shown that you can increase unaided brand awareness by 46% simply by showing up in a mobile search ad results. Simply by showing up. And more than half, 51% of smart users have discovered a new company or product when conducting search on their smartphones. So it's interesting because it sort of went back against what I just said about not spending money on random lead generation, but this is sort of an awareness piece as well. So these micro moments, basically was talking about that this moment of decision or moment of intent is a place where consumers will make a decision pretty quickly, and when they're ready, right? So you've heard, if you've been to Ninja, you've heard this, that people will spend, sometimes 6 to 8 months thinking about buying a house or even longer, but then they'll choose a realtor in a couple of days, right? So it happens oftentimes it's whoever's in the right place at the right time. So how can you be in the right place at the right time? And so this is, from these micro moments occur when people reflexively turn to a device. This is very just mobile oriented. Increasing their smartphone to act on a need to learn something, do something, discover something, watch something, or buy something. This is interesting. Searches related to how-to on YouTube are growing 70% year over year. So just as you're hearing this, think through how you can capitalize this. Think through how you use it. These are intent-rich moments when decisions are made and preferences shaped. In these moments, consumers' expectations are higher than ever. The powerful computers we're carrying in our pockets have trained us to expect brands to immediately deliver exactly what we are looking for when we are looking. like a clean car, for instance. We want things right, and we want things right away. Of leisure travelers who are smartphone users, 69% of travel ideas 69% search for travel ideas during spare moments, like when they're standing in line and waiting for subway. Nearly half of those travelers go on to book their choices through an entirely separate channel. Of smartphone users, 91% look up information on their smartphone while in the middle of a task. Has anyone ever done that? Just stop to look up how to spell something or anything like that. Or smartphone users, 82% consult their phones while they're standing in a store deciding which product to buy. 1 in 10 of these end up buying a different product than they had planned. There was a case study on Fiat. Did anybody think that Fiat was a car that would ever come to America or come back to America in 5 years ago?
No.
Right? Or should? So, different arguments. But, so Fiat makes small cars. So they started going after small people who are interested in small cars. And they gained a pretty good chunk of market share. Of online consumers, 69% agree that quality, timing, or relevance of the company's message influences their perception of a brand. Timing, quality, and relevance. So, the successful brands of tomorrow will be those that have a strategy for understanding and meeting consumers' needs in these micro moments. So this is just a little, those moments, the I want to know moments, I want to know moments, I want to go moments, I want to do moments, and I want to buy moments. 80% of smart users consult their, we went through this before, consult their phones in a store while deciding what to buy. Have y'all ever done that? Right, it's pretty common. So just a quick discussion. How can you be there? Thinking through that. How can you use that information for yourself? Any thoughts? How-tos. 70%. Has anybody Google something on YouTube or look something up on YouTube about how to do something? Probably every day, right? How to stage a house. How to do, any of this stuff. What else? That's a good one. That's probably my favorite one.
Well, 10 tips or 10 tricks to do whatever, which is sort of a variation on how to.
Right? So top 10 reasons for this, or top 10 ways to do this. Lists are very clickbaity. Top 5, top 3, top 10. Everybody wants to know all the answers in a list. What else?
Just consistency.
Consistency?
I think that's the biggest thing is whatever you do, just anything works if you just do it consistently. Even if you're doing walking Mondays and you're just walking a different community and you're doing a selfie video every week, like just do it every consistency. Consistency. Consistency is more important than reach. So one idea, and this was, Jason Pantana did a little talk on this, and I'm not going to go through how to do it because he spent 10 minutes going through it, but he sent me slides and I put them on VLearn. But a tight radius on YouTube ads. So he said, who's watched YouTube recently or ever, and if you watch a few things enough, or if somebody has the settings a certain way, there'll be an ad, right? You have to wait 5 seconds before you skip it. Usually you skip those ads, but sometimes they're relevant. What if you saw one that was a house in your neighborhood? Would you skip it? Maybe not. Probably not. And so you can do very, very hyper targeted, which also translates to very inexpensive and cheap, YouTube advertising based on where you like to sell or based on where you have a listing. So, quick selfie video, right? You want to do it guerrilla style. Hey, we're here, 123 Ashford Avenue, 2206 21st Avenue South. Here's the quick pan around, right? It could be a 30-second video or a minute-long video, and then you can push that out and set that up through Google to play on people's YouTube searches before whatever they're watching. For really cheap, and do a radius like within, I think, half a mile of that house, or maybe even narrower. So they see it, they start seeing you, it's like, oh, wow, this person seems to know the neighborhood. So go on VLearn, you learn how to do that, step-by-step instructions on that. Hunter, how do we email better?
So I saw this this week, and I thought it'd be interesting to share. We're on email so much, so here's some really good tips from Danny Donovan. So you got an instance where it took you a while, but the person can deal with it. Instead of saying, sorry for the delay, you can say, thanks for your patience, da 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 da. When you're scheduling something, your schedule matters too. Instead of saying what works best for you, you can say, could you do 3 o'clock Thursday? Or instead of saying, when someone says thank you, instead of saying no problem, no worries, you can say, always here, happy to help. This is one of my favorites. So you spend like 30 minutes crafting the perfect email. Instead of doing that, just call them in person. Email is not the best tool for every conversation or every bit of communication. Did you get it? What's another good one? I made an error. Say, hey, nice catch. Updated file attached. Thanks for letting me know. Have an appointment. You just say, hey, I'll need to leave at so-and-so. I thought those are fun. So those will be on the slides to download just in case you want to do that. What we've been working on, as always, we're looking to focus on better marketing, more brand consistency, stronger communication, and reducing your costs. So, speaking of a cost-free way, we are doing new headshots. They're cost-free to you, not to Village. We've hired a former studio photographer who works on David Dorsey's team. She's going to be doing the photography. No charge for you. We've sent out 2 dates. Those are now full, so we'll send out another couple of dates. We really want these to be sharp, consistent, and so we're asking you to go to a similar downtown location. Look at these. This is our first round. Look at that group. Kind of under the pedestrian bridge downtown. It's actually easier than you think to get there. See? This little parking lot right under here. That's the pedestrian bridge. That's Nissan Stadium. So there's tons of parking during the week. It's really easy to just get off the interstate.
I see you got a rental car down there.
I'm still getting over this. He took his rental car with 3 small kids and vacuumed it out.
Hey, Hunter, you gonna have a makeup artist there to brush the glisten from the
You're gonna park, you're gonna sit in your air-conditioned car, and let all the sweat evaporate, you're gonna pop out in the shade. We can touch up and Photoshop the photos. Alright, so, as you noticed on your way up here, we've got a lot going on. First of all, thank you for being patient, and this is going to come together quickly, but it is going to be inconvenient for probably the rest of this week. So, find a spot. Up here, there's a lot of good co-working spaces. If there's an office that's not being used, a conference room, feel free to duck in. We've got a couple of conversation rooms, some of those offices in the halls. So if you're in a co-working space and you got to take a call, or you're worried that you're bothering someone because your voice projects very loudly, Mark Hayden, you can duck in. David Lane, good. You duck in one of those conversation rooms, have the conversation you need to have, and then get back to work. But, so here's what's going on. We've got carpet finishing up this week. There's a couple of areas that are still getting completed. The stairwell, we've got new treads coming in, new vinyl, so that'll be cleaned up. The elevator lobby, paintings finishing up the next 2 days. So a lot of this is coming together. The cubicles get finished up in the next couple of days as well, so we should be back to normal for the most part at the end of this week. Bathrooms downstairs are getting a total gut. Have you seen? I mean, that's the women's bathroom there. I guess there was like wallpaper on this tile. I've never been in the women's bathroom, but it's going to look fabulous. New tile, new everything, new fixtures. So excited about that. We're doing the new shades a lot. Downstairs we have those metal blinds that are not as nice looking as those, so we're replacing them with this to have a consistent look in all the windows. So just kind of freshening everything up. Alright, so one thing, mailboxes, it's going to be a slight change, which I think is going to be for the better. these bad boys that were in a prominent place outside the elevators are going to be going away. So it's just a pretty inefficient, time-intensive process for Rachel to deal with downstairs. It's also kind of an insecure way. People would bring things like checks and money that's just sitting out there for anyone to grab when if they wanted to steal something. And then these were all done like alphabetically, so people could find their name. And so, you know, a new agent would come and there would be an F, and she'd have to like rotate all of the G through Z letters down. So it's just and plus they don't look great and they're kind of loud. So what we're moving to is Rachel is going to be the keeper of all the mail. She's going to have a locked filing cabinet alphabetically. So if you've got something, she'll shoot you a text or an email saying, hey, you got some mail. You can just swing by, or on your way in the office, you can say, hey, Rachel, I got an email. She can just look. Barnes, no, you're good. She's going to get rid of all the junk mail for you so you don't have that clogging up things. And so, anyway, so we're moving to that kind of after this week. Sound good? Excited?
After hours, if someone needs to pick something up after hours, if she sent a text or an email and just reply saying, hey, can you leave that out for me?
Yeah, we can work through any special situation. Got something important, we can figure that out. But just as a rule, it'll really cut down on her time, clutter, and keep her focused on things that are really going to be adding value to you. Alright, so new tool on VNut. You can go in, log in, and on the dashboard, you can track how close you are to your cap at any time. So that was a request that people have, like I'm in the middle of the year, I don't know how much I got left, so we wanted to offer that to you. Also, we have a slightly thinner business card option. So if you've ordered business cards, David Payne had a great suggestion. He's like, I actually use my business cards and I can put like 3 of them in my wallet because they're so thick. And so I need to have a still professional looking and feeling card, but I want to have more in my pocket. So we have a new option on the market. It's slightly less expensive as well. So also some new tools that are coming soon. We've got a new email newsletter template, almost complete. So it'll be coming out for this month. You can send out to your database, and we'll update those every month, so you can just automatically sign up and send out your database. Just a monthly email. Isn't that cool?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So just real quick, so this is, and we've talked about this in a lot of coaching meetings I've had. I hear over and over and over again, yeah, I really want to send an email newsletter. That's great. I want to customize it. I want to make it mine. You can do that with yours, with this if you want. But this is going to be through Boomtown. We're working through a couple of technical glitches where this is just like, keep scrolling down. And so there was a lot of scrolling, so it was a little bit too long for Boomtown. So we're going to shorten that up a little bit. But it'll have some how's the market every month, a little bit of upcoming events and what's happening around town, and then a tip of the month. Just something kind of sciencey, numbery, and then some feel good stuff. Cool? Don't what's the expression? Don't let perfect be the enemy of good, right? So this is good. Yeah. What was that?
Progress over perfection.
Progress over perfection. So if you do things consistently, if you consistently send something out with one click, you'll be able to do it every month. Then people will start remembering you, and then the moment of the decision. Yes, and we'll have it so we can have this set up so you can send it out through MailChimp most likely as well. But there's right. I say that probably without replicating and having I guess if Caitlin has to go into your MailChimp and upload every single one of these things to every single MailChimp account, that's going to be massively time consuming. So from an automated standpoint, we're going to put it on Boomtown. That's the easiest way to do it right now. But we'll look into doing it through MailChimp and setting up templates like that as well. But I want to get this set up the first one.
Just off subject, speaking of Boomtown, I got a thing in Gmail the other day that said something about Gmail is not compliant with what Boomtown is going through or something. It said something that within the next couple of months, if Gmail doesn't do something or change something, that connect might go away. Did you see anything like that?
I've not seen anything like
Okay, I
that.
get it.
But I'll look
That's
into
all,
it.
I'll try to find it and send it to you, but it worried me a little bit. That's all.
Sounds good.
All right, so that's pretty cool. I just wanted to because we've rolled out like different stuff and it can get kind of lost in the shuffle sometimes. So I want to do a quick recap of some stuff that's out there just so that you remember. Okay, so these go out every month. They're updated on the market. How's the market? We got one for Williamson County, one for Davidson County,
One for Wilson County coming this way.
one for Wilson County coming soon. You've got individually branded project, social media, and email ads that you can send out, and our agents who have those listings have been nice enough to allow that for anyone to send out to your sphere and say, hey, company I work with, we've got this going on, and it's a great way to generate leads for some of our listings. We've got flyers and email templates, new signs. This is really exciting. So, we have updated our listing presentation book. It's on the market. If you hadn't used it yet, it's really awesome. And now we have a buyer's consultation packet that's updated. So it starts off, you can customize stuff. You can, a page, if you don't like to have a page, you can just pop it out because it doesn't have page numbers and it won't be obvious. But it's really built around the buying process. So while you're presenting to your buyer and your prospect, you're really adding a lot of value to the process, and we think it's really going to help land more buyers. We've got a questionnaire here, talks through the buyer process. We've got information about Nashville area, pre-approval process, how to search, where to search, things to avoid, making the offer, the 85% perfect home. This is a good. I saw one. Kate, someone put it on social media. The 80-10-10 rule. Y'all ever use that with buyers? So it's find a house that's 80% what you want, 10% what you can change, and 10% what you can live with. And that's kind of similar to this 85% perfect home. There's no such thing as the perfect home out there. And then a glossary at the end, which is, I think, really cool and helpful to buyers. All right. We're down to the broker opens. So these can be added on our calendar by the office manager. So if you've got one coming, make sure we get them on the calendar so we can show up for each other. But anyone have one this week? Or coming up in the next couple of weeks? Yeah. Kate, what you got?
Okay, I have one that's going to come up on the coming soon. Thank you. This one has tenants in it, so it's not going to be like beautiful. But it's in Inglewood, and it's on Scott, and it's only $325 for 3-bedroom, 2-bath on a normal lot all by itself. So it's the unicorn everybody wants. It just has people in it, and it might smell a little bit, but you just have to wait until their lease is up on September 1st, and it'll be beautiful.
What's the unicorn?
So this is Thursday, 3:30. So, you can bring a buyer with you, and because they're, roommates in it, we have 1 hour to come see it, leave, write an offer, close, this month, wait until September 3rd to move in, and you're fine.
Just send Zach over there, he'll clean it up. All right, coming soon. We got first line here.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, we went live last Monday, and we will probably be doing brokers open in the next week or so.
This is 201 Cargyle Lane. It's a Robert Anderson design on a half-acre flat lot in West Beach. It is spectacular. It is wall-to-wall floor to ceiling glass, the whole back inside of the house, kind of surround the pool. 3 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 6,400 square feet. Yeah. Just a little bit of terror. The master is gigantic, has his and her bathrooms, separate bathrooms, with exercise room. This is a pretty spectacular house. When we do the open, please come see it and tell your clients. It's pretty cool. 1.8 million.
You ought to just put the architect, whoever it is, even if it's not a famous architect, it's like, it's exactly your designed house. It's so good. Robbie.
So I've got 1025 Belmas Avenue in East. We're kind of on the edge of East and Inglewood there, right off Gallatin. Literally right across from the YMCA, so you can hop over and work out. Not even have to get in your car. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1562 square feet. Going to be listed for around $385 most likely. Pictures happening today. I can get you in early. It's the owner has been living there, but is kind of partially moved out so that we can just show it whenever. So let me know if you want to check it out.
Sylvia.
Got 5 points in East Nashville, 240,000, and this is all 3 locations. It's a handsome and serene condo, just steps away from the vibrant amenities that 5 Points has. I don't even have the book. I don't even have the book. It's a rare opportunity because condos in the 37206 building never come up, rarely come up. It's 1 bed, 1 bath, and it's 720 square feet, and it's really gorgeous, very handsome. And I can get you in early. We're probably going to go live Thursday.
Awesome. Will is on.
So Will's got a inspection this morning, but he asked me to go through this for his. He's got a 3-2 at 917 Chickasaw Avenue, 37207 in Area 6. It was renovated in 2015, hardwoods in all rooms except the master. It was a rental property. He's getting $1,900 a month, or something like that. That was his last tenant. He thinks he could probably get $2,100. Spoken like a true realtor. Right? Kate, is this the one you just went through? You want to talk about it again?
Okay, so 2905 Scott, and I have pictures from when it looked nice, and I have sweetheart pictures. Okay, but it's just all paint, all you need, paint. Okay, you know, and there's no carpet as far as I know. I went through it last Monday night, so come on. No, Russell Street, apartment C is not really an apartment. It's an old 1925 brick house at like an amazing location where Edgefield Neighbors runs up against like 5 Points, and you could walk to the village office from here. Now, there is a tenant in it. This was a long-term coming soon through December 31st. But this is a 950 square foot, 1 bedroom, like ground level, walk in from the front porch condominium. So go ahead and put it out there because it might be perfect for somebody you know. And it's $295. So if somebody doesn't need a lot of space, doesn't want a yard to take care of, and wants to be in East Nashville for under $300, it's perfect.
Lauren? No Lauren? Teddy.
Laylawood Circle, Westmead, Hillwood area, 3,100 square feet, 5 bed, 3 bath. What's cool about this is you got a full basement, walkout apartment. You could put separate access into it, so it could be an owner-on Airbnb, in-law suite, teen suite, whatever you want it to be. And it's got a wood-burning fireplace, full kitchen down there, and 2 bedrooms. Beautiful renovation on the first floor. It's got, all the details are in there. It's got an incredible corner lot. Could put a huge pool on that right off of White Bridge Road. Next on California, The Nations, detached HPR built by Jeff Eastep, amazing. 2 huge closets, 2-car garage port in the back. It's really, really nice. Some built-ins on that. And the last is I've got a lot I need to sell by Felicia at 3324 Felicia. It's going to be $370. You can put 2 builds on that. It's on the high side of the street. It's my personal lot. I need it to close by July 22nd for a 1031 exchange. Thank you. Goodbye.
You know by Felicia is the neighborhood?
Yep.
Subdivision. All right, Stan, you around?
Right here.
Stan, look at this. Woo! Springfield, first listing Springfield.
Yeah, my first 2 listings are going live. Yeah. So everyone's talking about Springfield. I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm here for you, okay? So come. I grew up there, just moved back. I love introducing new people to my cool hometown, honestly. It's 30 miles away. People talk about it's the new old school Franklin. I know, don't be offended, I know, but it's a picturesque town square, historic courthouse, great historic homes. Anyway, enough about that. 2 houses there, going live Friday. Historic home, we're calling it Grand and Groovy. It was built in 1920, 3,000 square feet on the main level. This is a great house for a Nashville artist or musician that wants to possibly buy some land eventually or invest in a new community. Great house to fix up. It's move-in ready, but it's tremendous potential for like luxury renovation. Original molding, 6 fireplaces. There's an additional upstairs loft that's been finished. Historic outbuilding. It's a 1-acre lot. It's a beautiful property. Come see it. And then also in a little subdivision close to the local golf course is 169 Fox Run. It's a one older gentleman built this house or purchased this house. He's lived in it. He outfitted it for his later retirement with like chairlifts and great accessible master bathroom and ramps and things like that. That's the highest and best use if someone wants to deposit their grandparents in a super safe, well-built house. All brick house. Anyway, just throw that out there. Close to the golf course. Did I say something wrong? No. To price at $260 and $265 respectively. I'm going to be doing open houses the next 2 weekends, Saturday and Sunday. I'm not going to do a broker open for to come to Springfield, but if any of you would like to come, I would love to take you to dinner, buy you drinks, something like that. I also would be happy to show these homes to your clients if you don't want to drive to Springfield. I'm happy to provide these listings. So that's all I got from Springfield. Come visit.
Oh, I'm Deborah. Deborah. Yes, you'll immediately notice my body has Deborah has gone to shit. It was a hard holiday weekend. But if you have parents, doting parents, that are seeking Franklin schools, and they happen to have a son named Brandon, this is the house for you right here. 1121 Brandon Drive. Can you imagine that? It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2556 square feet. It's a corner lot in Franklin, just south of the square. It's very close to Carnton Plantation, if you know where that is. Just a little stone's throw over, a nice big open field. And it has a lot of little gems in the house. So private backyard oasis. You'll definitely want to have your coffee there in the morning. Established gardens. Tons of hidden updates, and like a sprinkler system and tankless water heater. I love tankless, by the way. And it is going to hit the market in about 2 weeks, 2 weeks-ish. So you've got 2 weeks to find clients for the son named Brandon. Here's Shannon. Lloyd, have you also dreamed?
No, I know.
No?
I can't do
You
two.
dreams got in Eastland.
barely
You're located low 500s. And then Virginia.
So this listed last week, it's at the Eagle Ridge at the Reserve, which is on Old Hickory in West Nashville. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. This is a 3-story unit, so you've got a master on the 3rd floor and a master on the ground floor. It's got new air conditioning, new tankless water heater, well maintained. I need your help selling it.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, what were your takeaways today? There's a lot.
Yeah.
What you got? Oh, one more.
Yeah, a couple more, yeah.
A few more. Hey y'all, I was with William Smallman of the Magnus Group, and he meant to put this on, he didn't get to you, sorry. But we've got about 6 or so coming in this month, actually. There's a new one on the corner of 10th and Benton, and I won't go through all of them. But basically, y'all want any questions, Seth James by name, and just kind of shoot me an email or a text or something, I'll let you know they're coming down the pipe probably the next month. So either addition rehabs and a couple new constructions.
What general area, what general price?
Yeah, so sorry. They're starting the lowest one. We got a couple on Caldwell that are going to be the high 6s, and one on Clayton that's going to be a 1.6. So a bit of a broad spectrum. And I think there are 3 new construction. The other 3 are going to be they're historic. So they're going to be addition and slash renovation. Yeah, so kind of a broad area. Sorry.
That's great, Seth. So yeah, Seth and Wayne do a lot of new construction. So if you have a buyer looking for new construction, in town, talk to them. All right, takeaways. What are the top takeaways? Real fast, come on. 30 seconds. Interest rates. What are the rates? What a 30-year fix today is 3.75. Nice. What else?
Newsletter.
Newsletter. You like the newsletter?
Yeah.
Photos. Go get your new photos. Get your headshots. Who else? What else?
Building update.
Building update. A lot of grocery stores. How many downtown residents? 12,000. Don't use Hertz. 80-10-10. I don't know the 80-10-10 is cool. And then the buyer. Richard Exton is coming at 10:30. So go on VLearn. I'm going to email it out as well. But go on VLearn and download a copy of the buyer consultation package. There are a few updates. Virginia gave me a couple updates that are not in there yet. So those are coming as well. But this is done. But if you have suggestions, updates, changes, things that you want, talk to me about it. This is where all of this stuff came from your input. So take a look at it and let me know. All right, thanks, y'all. Stick around for Richard Exton at 10:30.